Morning, morning.
In the repair shop today, Dom gets tough on rust.
It uses the electrical current from the 12-volt car battery charger to sort of push the rust away. Look at that.
Steve gets a very fab fix.
I've done some research on this yellow submarine, and the top here, there were some periscopes, one for each of the Beatles.
Next, Hannah Clive from London is bringing a piece of rock and roll history to the barn.
Here she is.
Hello.
Hello.
It's the perfect gig for mechanical maestro Steve Fletcher.
I've got something in my pocket for you.
Oh, well, that's tiny.
And it's a little yellow submarine.
Submarine?
How come you've got this?
Well, this belonged to and was given to my dad, the television and film actor, John Clive.
Right.
He, amongst other parts that he did, voiced John Lennon in the Yellow Submarine film.
Oh, my goodness.
What? So how come he did that? How come he voiced him then?
They got various different actors in to do the parts because the Beatles weren't doing these speaking parts. And he was given this on the night of the premiere in 1968.
Oh, wow.
What else did he do? What other films
Oh,
was
he
he
did
in?
The Italian Job, and
Oh,
he did
wow.
the Carry-On films, a couple of Carry-On films. My dad was an all-rounder. He could sing and dance and write and act and do all of those things. And he was always making us laugh when we were children, you know, constantly making us laugh.
So do you remember playing with this then?
I do. I used to play with this when I was a little girl, in the bath and on the carpet in the hall, and running it up and down. And then I watched the film over and over and over, and that influenced my entire career choice, and I went on into music and performing like my dad. So without this little yellow submarine, I wouldn't do what I do.
So how long have you had this?
My father passed back in 2012.
OK.
But, yeah, not long before he passed, he said to me, Han, I want you to have this. And he put this in my hands because he knew what the film meant to me. And yeah, that's why it's so precious to me.
So what would you like Steve to do to it?
It used to have 3 funnels that came out, and as you run it along, the funnels used to spin round, apparently, but I never saw them. I don't know whether my brother managed to accidentally remove those.
Right.
And these hatches, you press these buttons, and they're supposed to pop up, only they don't. There you are. And that's...
That's cool, yeah.
That's John, and I think that's Ringo. It's missing its propeller.
OK.
And the paint's looking a bit sorry. I don't need it looking spick and span, because in a way, that's part of its life and its story.
Yeah.
But if there was anything you thought you could do, I'd be so grateful, Steve.
OK.
Honestly.
Hannah, thank you for bringing this in and trusting us with this item. I can see that's very precious to you.
Thank you very much.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
You take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The Yellow Submarine represents my dad to me and everything that my dad managed to do in his career, and I'm very proud of that. It's important that the Yellow Sub be preserved for our family. As a performer myself, it's like the family Olympic torch, if you like.
I love the fact that this was presented to John at the premiere of the film. I was brought up with the Beatles, so it's fantastic that I'm working on this. It's quite well made. It's a good, solid metal body on it, but the paintwork has really faded. There are lots of chips, especially over the hatches there, so I think I might need Lucia's help in touching those up. Then I need to make a propeller because she remembers the propeller being there. The thing that I'm really worried about is that she said there are funnels that come out of the top here, so I'll have to do a bit of research. There's a couple of springs that are supposed to spring the hatches, and I think the springs are seized up, and that's just preventing them to move easily. So I will just take this apart, and then I can see what's inside and what I'm up against. Just going to gently grind off the rivets. Good. Let's see what we've got in here then. The problem is that these levers that are sort of actuating levers for the hatches are slightly bent, and just 1 millimetre of bend makes all the difference to the way it works. So I'll just take this over to the lathe and see if I can get it straightened up. So you see now just how much out of true it is. And I need to straighten them all up, and I'm hoping it's going to be as simple as that.
With the bent levers on the yellow submarine's pop-up hatch mechanism straightened and fixed in place...
Brilliant. It works better than I thought it would.
Steve's turning his attention to the other tiny fixtures and fittings.
One of the next jobs I've got to do is I've got to make a propeller. This really does have to look the part, although it's not actually driving the boat at all. So I've got a piece of plastic, and I'm going to turn this into a propeller. I'm just going to cut around to make the circle. There we go. I can pop this into the lathe and turn a perfect circle. Quite unusual that I work with plastic. I'm usually working with brass and steel, and so I hope this is going to work. Good. Now I'll cut the blades out and shape them. Just going to pop on the propeller. Perfect. I've done some research on this yellow submarine, and the top here, there were some periscopes. Hannah remembered them as funnels, but they are actually 4 periscopes coming out, 1 for each of the Beatles. And as you push this along, the periscopes turn round. So I've done some sketches and worked out the sizes. I just need to set 2 now and make 4 of them. I've got a 2-part epoxy putty. You have to make sure it's really well mixed, because the 2 parts react with each other to start making it go hard. And if there are any parts that aren't mixed, you'll get those little soft parts. Right, let's have a go at making a periscope. I'm going to make the top first. Then the main body of the periscope, I need to make 6 millimeters in diameter. Hopefully, when I've reshaped it a bit, it's going to look all right. But yeah, it's a periscope, isn't it? Just going to leave that there and get on with the other 3 now. Right, that's great. That's all ready to take over to Lucia to do the paintwork. There we go. Here's the yellow submarine.
Oh, Steve. Is it working now?
Yeah, press those little things.
Oh, my goodness. That's good. The periscopes are good.
Thank you.
What did Hannah expect from the
She just wants a sympathetic touching up.
Perfect. We can do that.
I knew you'd like that.
Thanks, Steve. The ultimate goal is to get rid of where your eye is attracted to the damage. I actually want to use acrylic paints. They're going to be very reversible. I don't want to use a metal paint on this because if it ever comes off, it could be damaging to the original paint. I'm using a cadmium red hue for the red, and it's a really good colour match, and also the body of the paint is quite opaque, so it's covering the metal up really, really nicely, so I'm very pleased with that. But I can't get that with the yellow. The yellows are too translucent. To build up a level of colour will be too many layers, it will be just too thick. So that's complicated. So what I'm trying to do now is just block that out with a titanium white paint, and then I'll put the yellow on top of that. Even though it's a tiny object, I've got quite a way to go.
Fully immersed in her restoration of the yellow submarine and its figures of the Fab Four, Lucia is now blending in Steve's handiwork.
I painted the first coats of yellow on the periscope, and it's very difficult to get this colour match because the original paint has faded on the top and the yellow underneath is much more orangey, and try and get as good a colour match as I can. Fortunately, this red is straightforward. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the way that that's looking now. I'm going to put a bit more yellow in this, and then it will be ready to go back to Hannah.
This groovy little souvenir was a cherished childhood toy for Hannah, and a reminder of the remarkable career of her father, actor John Clive. Today, she's returned to collect it with her 16-year-old daughter.
It's really important for me to be here to collect my yellow sub with Ella May. It's an heirloom that I very much want to pass on because we're very proud of Grandad, aren't we? Yeah. We're really looking forward to seeing what they've done.
It means a lot to me, as it does with my mum.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm very good, actually. You must be Ella May.
Yeah, I am.
Do you know how important this is to Mum?
Yeah, looking forward to seeing how it's changed.
Explaining to Ella May on the way down, I'm sort of excited and nervous in equal measure. It's really important to me because it's all I've got of my dad. So it's really, yeah.
OK. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Can I touch it?
Yeah, of course you can.
Oh, Steve, what did you... That's amazing. I want to open the hatches, because this is what I've not been able to do for years. Should we do it together?
Yeah, yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yeah! Oh, there they are.
They both finally come out at once.
Oh, wow. They do. Oh, my God.
That is quality.
How cool is that?
That is proper cool.
Look, did you see Ella?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
How amazing is that?
Amazing.
Lucia has done all the paintwork.
Has she?
Yeah.
Oh, Lucia, you're a diamond. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, how lucky are we? Do you know what? Grandad's looking down now.
Yeah.
And I can... Oh, very special. Thank you so much for everything you've done.
It's a real pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Take care to both of you.
Bye-bye now.
Fabulous. To see the little yellow sub back and gleaming, it's an overwhelming feeling. It's really, really special. I just wish my dad was here to be able to see it.